Okay. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Infinite Crypto Cruisers. This is Brad Varnell of the Infinite Crypto YouTube channel. Excited to be with you here tonight on the Huobi live stream. I want to thank them so much again for having me. I'm super excited to share with you the fun and information and some of the people that I was able to connect with in Miami this last week for the Bitcoin 2022 conference. For those of you that weren't there, this conference was absolutely amazing. I talked to several people that were at the last one in 2019 or 2020, and then they didn't have one because of COVID. But I talked to some people that were there a couple of years ago, and they said that the magnitude of this one just blew anything else that they had ever seen away. Cash App was a huge sponsor of the conference. We had crypto.com that sponsored the conference. I was able to see Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank up close and personal and listen to him talk about Bitcoin and all of the reasons why he believes it's going to be $1 million a token over the next few years. Also got a chance to listen to and see Michael Saylor, the CEO of MicroStrategies. And man, it's just a amazing time, folks. Right now, so many people feel like they're late when it comes to crypto. Bitcoin has been around for over a decade, and sometimes you see Bitcoin sitting even right now at $40,000, and you're like, wow, that's a lot of money for one token. But folks, when you're looking at the fact that it's got such a limited supply, 21 million in existence, and then you look at the store of value that it is, and one of the things that Kevin O'Leary talked about, and I'm going to show a little clip here shortly. I've got some great images and a couple of little clips that I'm going to show you from the conference. But one of the things that he talked about is that it's very close. Bitcoin is very close to being able to be kept as a custodial asset where hedge fund managers and like 401ks for folks that are here in America, you're able to add Bitcoin to your 401k and your retirement plans. And then once that comes into place, and it's not that far off, we are going to see a huge demand and a limited supply. One of the things that I love about Bitcoin is it's finite. There's only 21 million of them ever made. And as those of you that have been in crypto know, lots of private keys have been lost, and they've nobody knows for sure, but it's speculated that 4 or 5 million Bitcoin are probably lost forever, and that the real total supply of Bitcoin available to the world is probably more like 16 or 17 million Bitcoin. Once all these financial institutions are able to offer Bitcoin as a way to hedge with their 401ks and their investment plans, their retirement plans, there is not going to be enough Bitcoin to go around. One of the things about gold is a great hedge against inflation, and gold has been, around a long time. And you'll hear people use the example that if you had a $20 gold piece back in 1900, and you had that $20 gold piece now, that they would buy you kind of roughly the same thing. In other words, gold has kind of appreciated where money, and because of inflation, the worth of money always kind of goes down. Well, the thing about gold versus Bitcoin is they're still finding gold. Gold is still being mined every single day. It's not finite. They're creating more of it, where with Bitcoin, there's a finite aspect to it. And so, folks, my point is, if you feel like you're too late, or you feel like you're rushed and you really got to get in to crypto, right now, I want to let you know that you've got a little bit of time, that you're still super, super early, that if you're getting into cryptocurrency investing right now, that you are still way, way, way ahead of the curve. And the reason that my channel exists is because I want to help people create financial freedom in their life, whatever that means to you, freedom to do what you want to do, to raise your kids the way that you want to raise your kids, rather than have a daycare or some stranger raising your children, to be able to take the vacations that you want to take, to live in the type of house that you want to live in. All of that kind of stuff is why this channel exists. And I believe that even if you're watching this video today and you haven't even invested $1 in crypto, that you have an amazing opportunity over the next 2 to 5 to 10 years to create immense wealth and freedom in your life by getting started. For those of you that have been around crypto for a while and you've already got some crypto, you've already got a few thousand or $25,000 or $50,000 in crypto, man, you are in such an amazing place. I know that cryptocurrency can be frustrating sometimes, and that it always seems like it takes it longer to go up and do what we want it to do than we thought it was gonna, or that we hoped it would. But folks, if you can just hold on, if you can be patient, so many forces of the world are really working for us. I know sometimes it feels like everything is against us, that, there's countries out there that are trying to ban Bitcoin, and that there's a lot of FUD in the marketplace at times. But I promise you, behind the scenes, a lot of the people creating the FUD are slurping up this Bitcoin at this $40,000 range. They're filling their bags. And that part of the reason for the FUD is they want to keep the price suppressed while they can buy it up, while they can get it. The financial institutions, they don't want us, the retail investors, to make a bunch of money. And in the stock market, it's super hard to make a bunch of money because of the financial institutions and the powers that be that really have control of things, where crypto is still wide open to the retail investors. And you have an opportunity before these financial institutions can get all of the way in and kind of monopolize things and slurp it all up, to really do some amazing things. So with that, folks, I also wanted to mention, I want to thank you all for being here. And I wanted to mention that I do content almost every day. In fact, today marks roughly 45 days in a row that I am doing a video on my YouTube channel. And I'm committed to doing 75 videos in 75 days. So for at least the next 30 days, you're going to get a video from me every single day. Now, Huobi Live has been fantastic and has been nice enough to have me on here, once or twice or maybe 3 times a week. But if you'd like to get some other great content, the other 4, 5, 6 days a week that I'm not on the Huobi live stream, please hit that subscribe button, hit those bell notifications. I've got a bunch of great deep dive videos coming out. One of the wonderful things about Bitcoin 22 was my ability to network with some amazing up and coming projects. And hopefully Huobi Live will allow me to come on sometime in the next few days. And maybe I'll be able to go over some of those great projects and some of the new upcoming things that I'm super, super excited about. But for today, we're here to talk about the Miami Bitcoin 2022. So without further ado, let me share my screen here and show you guys a few things that happened while we were here in Miami. So the first thing that I wanted to show you, you can see here, that's Michael Saylor. For those of you that don't know his face, once again, he is the owner, the CEO, and the founder of a company called MicroStrategies. He owns, if he's not the #1 Bitcoin holder in the world, he's very close. I know that he's in the top 2 or 3 or 5 at the very, very least. I believe he's the #1 holder of Bitcoin in the world. He's always been big on Bitcoin. He owns a ton of it on his balance sheet. He doesn't keep a huge amount of assets in cash because he believes that cash is losing value and Bitcoin is gaining value. So he is one of the exciting people that was at the conference that I really enjoyed getting a chance to listen to. The next picture here is just kind of some fun architecture. I wanted to show you guys Miami Beach, Miami is a very, very fun place. Very much filled with a lot of Cuban ethnicity and architecture and just beautiful, beautiful art. And this was the front of one of the buildings that we were walking by when we were just about half a block from Miami Beach, which one of the things that I loved about Miami Beach is our hotel was literally just 100 feet from the sand. So every single day that I was in Miami, I was out in the ocean when I wasn't in the actual Bitcoin conference. The next picture here is actually a video. I wanted to show you this quick clip. Hopefully you'll be able to hear my voice here.
Miami Beach, Florida. The Bitcoin conference here in Miami, Bitcoin 2022 is starting to wrap up. So my beautiful wife and I are walking along here, just a half a block off the beach. The beach is right over there. Some of the beautiful architecture and some of the beautiful things that they have here, the roses, and then all the way up to a very cool castle, like in a tree house. Folks, I'm really excited to get back to Las Vegas and share some of the great information that I have garnered this weekend and some of the great projects, some of the fantastic people that we have met, and some of the upcoming cryptocurrency projects that I think we're going to be able to make a ton of money on, folks. So I just wanted to say hi, let you all know we were thinking about you. We love you. And enjoy the rest of your day. We'll be back together with you soon. Bye-bye for now.
Real quick, before I go on to the next picture, I want to thank my wife here for that Infinite Crypto t-shirt. My wife actually made those t-shirts. We brought several of them to the conference. They were great conversation starters. They really helped my ability to network with some of these projects. So I wanted to thank my wife, and I also want to let you viewers know that here very soon, we're going to actually have these Infinite Crypto t-shirts. You're going to be able to buy them. If you'd like to own an Infinite Crypto t-shirt, we're going to have a merchandise website here soon. And I'm also going to be doing quite a few giveaways where I give away some of these t-shirts because I appreciate you guys rocking the Infinite Crypto gear. So, but I just wanted to thank my wife so much for these shirts. Here in the next slide, that is behind me. It says, Bitcoin 2022 there, but that right there, that bull is called the Miami Bitcoin Bull. Now, for those of you that live in the United States, or even maybe if you're outside of the United States, you might have seen in New York on Wall Street, they have a great big huge bull that looks a little bit like this one. It's nowhere near as cool, but there's a great big bull that stands out on Wall Street. And it's very famous. It's been in lots of movies. Well, for this conference, they brought in this Bitcoin bull. This sucker was huge, weighed over 3,300 pounds, and it was just amazing. And a lot of people congregated out in front of it. A lot of videos were taken in front of it. But once again, like you can see me here, and then look at how big that sucker is. So that was kind of a really cool effect. I forget which company brought that and put it on, but it was amazing to have that there. Here in the next picture, this is just me with a new project that's getting ready to launch. This is one of the tokens that I'm probably going to be talking about in my next Huobi live stream. And so I'm looking forward to that. It was great meeting these gentlemen, Raphael and Max. And then we also have this gentleman here. It was just kind of a funny picture. He had a sign up here. I didn't catch the sign, but this was a QR code. And if you scanned his QR code, you got an opportunity to get some free tokens for a token that was getting ready to launch. Unfortunately, the QR code didn't work very well, and most people were having trouble scanning it. But there was a lot of cool things like that at the conference where had you been there, you could scan a QR code and get free crypto for signing up for different, things that, different projects that were advertising themselves there. This here is really cool. It's hard to tell from this sign, but this sign was made out of Legos, folks. Took the lady 80 hours to make this sign. It's all Legos. My son, who's over here monitoring the chat and helping me with the live stream tonight, would have definitely loved that. He loves his Legos, and this, I could see him putting something together like this in the future. Real quick, I also want to give him a huge shout out. So, folks, I'm 48 years old, and I'm about as computer illiterate as you can get. I'm learning, but without my son, this YouTube channel probably wouldn't exist. He does all of the editing. So whenever I do my deep dive videos, he edits out all of the stuff that I wish I hadn't said. He puts in all of the links. He puts in, the subscribe tabs and all of the text. And just without him, this YouTube channel would be awful. So I want to thank him real quickly. And tonight he's helping me out with this live stream. It's a little bit hard sometimes when I get so involved in talking to you guys to actually monitor the chat. And I want to make sure that you guys know that I'm thinking about you. So he's monitoring the chat. It looks like my beautiful wife is in there too. And I also wanted to come over real fast and give the shout out to the folks that are on the Huobi Live app and that are watching me. I'm going to click into this right now. You can't see it on my screen. I'm actually on my phone. But Huobi Global has a fantastic app. If you haven't downloaded it yet, I recommend you go to the Apple or Android Play Store and download the Huobi Global app and check into their exchange. Check into these live streams. One of the neatest things that Huobi has put into place is the Huobi Global Live and these live streams. And there's several, I don't know the exact number, but I'm guessing at this point, probably at least a dozen different people like myself that are putting out content on the Huobi live stream on a daily basis. My very first one here, I went live with a gentleman named Jordan Tan that is doing some amazing things. So if you get into the Huobi app, not only would you be able to communicate with me there, there's an actual tab that you can click on and join like my chat room, but you can also sign up for the exchange, start looking into how you can earn. Huobi has a lot of earn features on their exchange. And for those of you that don't know, it is the #1 exchange basically in the world. It's got tens of millions of users. And definitely, if you're not using Huobi already, you definitely want to go download this app and check it out. So real quick, I just wanted to, say hi to some of the people in the chat. I can't actually see their names, but I want you to know, those of you that are in the chat room for Huobi, that it's really me in there. I'm the one talking to you, and that I definitely look forward to connecting with you folks. And once again, you can follow me. I'll have my son put the links in the description. You can follow me on Twitter at BradV7007, and I'm on Instagram and TikTok. So there's lots of different ways that you can connect with me. With that, let's get back to the conference here. Okay, like I mentioned, we had crypto.com in the house. And then Cash App. I don't, for different areas of the world, I don't know how big Cash App is, but here in America, millions and millions and millions of people use Cash App. We're able to send money back and forth. We're able to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum and a couple of other altcoins on Cash App. And this is actually an app where we have the ability to transfer the Bitcoin and Ethereum to our own private wallets. So it's not like some of the stock trading apps where you can only buy and sell it on their app. You're not able to trade it and send it to your own personal wallet. So to have them as a sponsor for this Bitcoin 2022 conference was amazing. And it just, shows a little bit of the things that are here to come. This is just some of the architecture. And you can see behind me here some of the booths. So this building here, this room was a great big, huge, I don't know, maybe 20,000 square foot room. And it was packed with booth after booth after booth of companies that are excited about crypto and that are launching new projects into the market. This was outdoors. They had like a really cool music festival outdoors, and they had this Bitcoin sign. Once again, the awesome their Infinite Crypto t-shirt. And then on a totally unrelated note, this is a coin gecko or a gecko. And I just took the picture of it and I titled it on my YouTube, Where's Waldo? But I thought it was kind of cute. We were walking down the path next to the beach and saw this gecko in the grass next to where we were walking. And now I'm back to Michael Saylor. So I'm going to go ahead and come back to just me. And then, I'd like to give you folks that are watching this an opportunity if you have any questions. So if you are live inside the Huobi app and you would like to ask me a question, you can ask me a question about Bitcoin 2022. You can ask me a question about my personal life if you'd like to. You can ask me what happened to my hair. Whatever's on your mind, I would love to open it up to a quick little Q&A before I go back and share some more information about Bitcoin 2022. So if you're on the app, ask a question. If they ask a question on the YouTube stream, my son will relay it to me. So does anybody have a question for me before I move on to some other stuff about the conference? While I'm giving you guys a second to type in your question, I'm going to have a drink of my coffee here. A lot of talking and no liquid. I got a dry vocal cords. Don't be shy, folks. Nothing on YouTube either. All right, folks, no problem. If you guys think about a question, go ahead and throw it into the chat on the Huobi Live app or on the YouTube stream, whichever is easiest for you, and I will come back to them. So let me go ahead and share my screen here again, and let me go back to here, and then I want to click over to this was my wife's Facebook. She rocked the Infinite Crypto shirt too. We're a little tired by, I think this was about day 3 or 4, so we were a little tired in that picture. But she was my cameraman, and she organized all of the business cards and was invaluable to me in this conference. Next picture, she caught me. This was our favorite restaurant. This was a little Mexican restaurant right on the main drag, half a block away from the beach. We ate here about 3 or 4 different times. They had some awesome chicken and steak fajitas. But the main thing that I wanted to show you that she got pictures of, this is how close we were to Kevin O'Leary when he was talking about Bitcoin and the future and where he sees this market going. And then my wife got a little video of our food. I'll skip over that.
And the ESG committee,
with this here,
ethical committees to agree to allow them to buy it. And we're always off. But when that happens,
let me set this up. This here is a quick little clip. It's only about 18 seconds long, but I want you to listen very closely to what Kevin O'Leary says here. I missed the first part of it, but this is basically where he was talking about the custodial aspect of Bitcoin being very, very close to coming to reality where people can start holding Bitcoin in their retirement accounts, their 401ks, their Roth IRAs and stuff like that, at least here in the United States. So let me take this back to the beginning and hit play, and hopefully you guys can hear the sound quality is good enough to where you can hear.
And the ESG committees and the ethical committees to agree to allow them to buy it. And we're a little ways off, but when that happens, you will see Bitcoin break out of its current trading range because it will be allocated, and then it'll start to appreciate.
Kevin, I'm going to take on positive take Bitcoin equity is a good comparison. Mark? Yeah, I want to jump in. I mean, I would definitely agree with.
And the ESG committees and the.
So once again, folks, we are in the right place at the right time. That's just another little picture of the panel. Back to my wife here. So let's run over here real quickly. I'd like to show you guys the current CoinGecko market cap and where things are sitting at. So for those of you that haven't been looking, Bitcoin is sitting at about 40,000. We still have Ethereum holding on to the $3,000 level. BNB $416. XRP has made a little bit of a rebound. I believe it was down to about 70 cents a couple of days ago. For those of you that love XRP, I did a video on XRP a couple of days ago titled, "When Will XRP Break Out?" And I talked a little bit about the lawsuit and some of the things that they are doing and why I am pretty bullish on XRP. Great. My son just let me know that the video is linked in the description of this video. So if you want to watch that XRP video, you can just click the link in the description. And I know that XRP, a lot of people love it and a lot of people hate it. I'm not really here to take one side of the fence or the other, but I do think, in my opinion, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't own a securities license. I'm just a guy that created financial freedom through cryptocurrencies and am now paying it forward through this channel. This is just my own personal opinion. And I got to recommend, never listen to me or any other YouTuber for that matter. Always do your own due diligence. Never invest money that you can't afford to lose. And then my number one rule that I think is more important even than don't invest money that you can't afford to lose is don't invest money that you can't afford to leave in the market long term. And by long term, I mean minimum 3 to 6 months. And really, you should have more like a 2 to 5 year time frame. In my opinion, that's what I look at. I'm never surprised when crypto takes longer to do what I thought it was going to do. So with that, I think that there's some tremendous upside. I very much believe that XRP will probably win its lawsuit. And I think it's a very high likelihood, like I've been told, and people that I listen to that I respect, but basically figure it's higher than 99% that Ripple XRP is going to win that lawsuit, which is not only going to be amazing for XRP, but I believe it's going to help pull the whole market up. So, just in general, you can kind of see these numbers for the last 7 days. Everything has been kind of getting beat up a little bit. This is an opportunity. I've been dollar cost averaging in a little bit, but the main reason that I wanted to share that screen, folks, I wanted to give you a little bit of hope. For those of you that, this market has put some fear into you, you're maybe worried that crypto just is not going to work, that crypto is going to, fail. You hear a lot of people that talk about when Bitcoin was $1,000, 8, 9, 10 years ago, it's going to zero. And then when it got to $3,000 or $4,000, it's going to go to zero. I remember when I first got involved in cryptocurrency at the end of 2017, when I really started getting serious, Bitcoin hadn't made its run to 20,000 yet. And as it made that run to 20,000, there was still a bunch of people that thought Bitcoin was going to go to zero. And then it did have a pretty big decline after that bull run in 18 and 19. It went all the way down to as low as $3,200 or so, and then popped back up fairly quickly into the $5,000 or $6,000 range. But there was a lot of people when it was hanging out 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 that thought Bitcoin was going to go to zero. And then here we were last year in 2021, we watched Bitcoin climb all the way to new time highs of $64,000 and then reclaim new all-time highs in November of about $68,000. And I want to give some of you folks that maybe bought in and have been holding your crypto, your Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of your tokens through this last 4 or 5 months. I want to give you hope and let you know that if you had bought the peak of the Bitcoin price every single cycle, going back to like 2010, you bought the absolute peak and then it went 80, 90% down. Had you just held it, you would have millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, because Bitcoin goes to 1,000, hits an all-time high of 1,000, and then it runs down to $200 back in like 2010 or 11. Then in 13 or 14, it ran up to several $1,000s. And then it came all the way back down 70 or 80%. And it's happened multiple times. Even like I say, the last bull run in 2017 going into 18, it came up and hit almost 20,000, 19 and change, 20,000 on a couple of exchange and then it just came crashing back down over the next couple of years, all the way down to a low of 3,200. It lost, what is that, 80, 85% of its value from its all-time high. But had you bought Bitcoin at $20,000, all you had to do was hold it for 3 years and you would have over 3x your money. And folks, I don't know very many stocks that you could have bought in 2018 that in 2021 would have 300% your money, that would have turned every $1,000 you had invested into $3,000. Most people in the stock market get excited about 5, 10, 15, 20% gains. What's 300% divided into 3 years? What is that per year? I'm not going to try to do the exact math, but folks, my point is, if you bought Bitcoin at 68,000 and you're a little bit frustrated and in despair, I understand. But I went through it all. I invested a lot of money in 18 and watched it go down 90%. I invested in 19, watched it go down 90%, invested in 20, watched it go down a bunch. But it all came flying back in 2021. And it's the most exciting thing in the world when you pop open your portfolio tracker and it just is going up by hundreds or thousands of dollars every single day. I'll never forget, I was at my mom's house and she was a little leery of all of this cryptocurrency stuff. And I had bought a bunch of Ripple at about a quarter. And when Ripple ran up to the $3.60 mark in the beginning of 2018, I was at my mom's house one night and my portfolio, like when we sat there just in a couple hour period of time, my portfolio went up several $1,000s just in a couple hours. Like I'd open it up and be like, oh my gosh, Mom, look at that. And then half an hour later, I would open it up again. It'd be another $800 or $900 or $1,000 higher. And so, folks, I kind of like to it kind of reminds me of poker. If any of you have ever played poker, I like to play poker. I live in Las Vegas, and so I play a lot of no limit hold'em. And one of a famous saying is that no limit hold'em is hours of boredom and then moments of terror. Because in no limit hold'em, a lot of times you're just folding. You're just throwing your cards away. You're getting bad cards. You're throwing them away. And I kind of relate that to the way that in crypto, we go through these consolidations, these sideways periods, these downtrends, and it's just kind of boring. It's methodical. There's not a lot of excitement. A lot of people, in fact, this is when they give up and they sell their crypto 30, 40, 50% down. And they give up on crypto and they have a bad taste in their mouth. They didn't hold out long enough, because if you keep folding those cards and in crypto that's just holding strong, buying good projects when you can, adding to your Bitcoin while it's down, you just fold your cards, hold your crypto, and all of a sudden in no limit hold'em, you're all in and you got aces. And that's the moment of terror, because you're all in and there's no guarantees in life. Your aces can get beat, but your ace is going to have about an 80% chance of doubling or tripling up. And that's how it's going to be with Bitcoin. When the market starts to go up, I wouldn't necessarily call it a moment of terror, but it's a moment of sheer excitement, just like in No Limit Hold'em, where you just sit there bored and then all of a sudden you're all in and you're excited. Crypto's like that, folks. Now, I just want to let those of you know that are hanging out and being patient, that are holding strong, that you are doing the right thing. I have a saying that I love, and I believe that it's very true for almost anything in life, but it's super, super, super true for crypto. And I like to tell people there's only two things that you got to do to be successful in crypto. Number one, get started. Number two, don't quit. And somewhere in between those 2 points, you will figure it out. Well, what that also means is, number one, get invested, buy crypto. Number two, Don't sell it when it's down 50 or 60 or 70%. That is the worst thing in the world. I can't tell you how many people I've met over the years that bought Bitcoin at its peak. They got excited by the FOMO, so they bought Bitcoin when it was 20, and then they sold it when it was 10. And they're all upset. They don't want nothing to do with crypto. They quit educating themselves. They're not learning. They're not engaged. And now all of a sudden, 3 years later, Bitcoin starts going up in 2021. And they're like, nope, I'm not buying it. I bought it at 20 and it went all the way down to 10. I'm not buying it. And then it hits its all-time high. They're like, I don't care. I'm still not buying it. And then it goes from 20 to 30. And they start thinking about buying some, but they're still not ready. And then it gets to 40. And they're like, oh my gosh, if I would have just held on to my Bitcoin, I'd be up 100% on my money. I can't believe I sold it, but they're still not ready to buy in yet. The next thing you know, it's $50,000, $60,000. And all of a sudden, they're back in the market. They're buying Bitcoin. They think it's going to 100, 150, 200,000. They bought it at 60 grand. And guess what, folks? Those same people sold it last month when it was down at 30. And they're going to complain about it to their coworkers. They're going to tell everybody how they lost a bunch of money on Bitcoin for the second time. I know people that it's the third or fourth time that it's happened to them. They never learn. And guess what those same folks are going to do? When Bitcoin makes its next run and it gets to $100,000, all of these people that bought it at 60 or 65 and sold it at 30 are going to come plowing back into the market at 100,000. And they're going to watch it go up, and then they're probably going to end up watching it go back down to 50, 60,000, and then they're going to sell it again. And maybe I'm hoping that if that's ever been you, please don't let it be you again. I'm telling you, folks, all you have to do, remember these words. If you don't hear anything else I say in this video, the only two things you got to do to be successful in crypto is get started and don't quit. Now, of course, there's some education. If you're making huge mistakes and buying, horrible coins and getting rug pulled, I mean, there's obviously a few things that you got to do on top of that to be successful. But my point is, if you get started and you don't quit, you will figure it out in between. With that, do we have any questions yet? Any questions on your end? Nope. No questions. Yeah. Well, it's been several minutes since I asked people, so no questions still in the chat. That's fine. No problem. How long have we been going for?
We have been going for about 37 minutes.
37 minutes. Holy smokes. Did you guys know that anybody could talk for 37 minutes without breathing? So sometimes that's what it feels like, man. I know you get me going, but I am excited. I want you guys to see my excitement. I want to offer you some hope. I want to show you guys some enthusiasm. My portfolio's taken a huge hit over the last 5 months, and I do crypto full time. So that Bitcoin conference that I just went to, thousands of dollars that I spent for the conference tickets and the airfare and the hotel and everything. And I had to sell some of my cryptocurrency to do it because I live off of my cryptocurrency. Now, yes, I've got some passive income coming in and some income streams, but folks, if you've got a job and you've got an income stream coming in to where you can continue to buy crypto during these downtimes and it doesn't affect your life in the short term, you are so blessed to be able to pay your bills and have extra money to invest in crypto. Like I say, right now, this has been extremely frustrating for me too. But folks, the same thing that got me through 18 and 19 and 20 is getting me through this. And that is that I know that cryptocurrency is going to take over the world. Blockchain technology is a force that cannot be stopped. I relate it. One of my favorite YouTubers I really love, BitBoy Crypto and Ben Armstrong. And one of the things that he talked about in a video that made so much sense was when the automobile industry first came around in the early 1900s, there was a lot of people that were against it. People just don't like change. Nowadays, we can't even imagine. Can you imagine riding around on a horse and a buggy. I mean, it just seems totally ridiculous. But back in the early 1900s, when Henry Ford and automobiles first started getting introduced, there was huge opposition. The thing about automobiles is they were such a better solution to people's transportation issues than horses and buggies that they were inevitable. And I like that example because it's the same thing with cryptocurrency and blockchain. The cryptocurrency, the way that it changes financial markets, the DeFi, decentralized finance, and the blockchain technology is so much better than what we are doing right now with our current banking system and with so many applications that we use in life that it is unstoppable. So anytime you hear a government official talking about banning Bitcoin or that it's going to zero, all of that is just a bunch of baloney. Don't believe it. I've heard blah, 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 is Bitcoin's going to get banned probably 20 times in the last 4 or 5 years. And usually it's by a pretty big country. And a lot of times it causes the Bitcoin price to go down temporarily. It scares the weak hands out of the market. But that's part of that's part of what you need to do here. So with the number one, get started, and the number two, don't quit. Part of your education is to learn about blockchain technology, to understand the financial system and understand why DeFi, decentralized finance, is like not even 1 or 2 or 5 or 10x better than our current traditional financial systems. It's 1,000 times better, and it's unstoppable. So folks, I just hope that you enjoyed today's content. I hope you had some fun getting a glimpse into my life at the Bitcoin 2022 conference. And hopefully, if you're excited about crypto, hopefully you're even more excited. If you were a little nervous about crypto and you were wondering if you should sell or what you should do, once again, not financial advice, but folks, I am buying. I have my top 5 or 10 tokens that I really love, and I am adding to those positions as I can. And real quick, I'll give you a few of those tokens. Once again, not financial advice, do your own due diligence, but a few of the tokens that I love right now and that I believe are just at amazing prices. One is Polkadot. I love Polkadot. Part of the reason I love Polkadot is you can stake it on multiple different places and earn 12% a year in interest on your Polkadot. So I love earning interest while I am holding a cryptocurrency like Polkadot. Chainlink, Matic, Avalanche, Solana, VeChain. In fact, that was another cool thing. I didn't take a picture with him, but I actually met the owner, the founder of VeChain, at the Huobi Live VIP party. In fact, I didn't share those screens. Let me see if I can share that real quick and pull that up for you. I got off on a little bit of a tangent, but I want to see if I can pop in here real quick and show you. They sent me these pictures. Hope that's not the right one. That's my Infinite Crypto Telegram channel. Which, by the way, folks, if you're not in my Infinite Telegram channel, that would be a great place to go. So here is. Let me see if these are going to pop up. There you go. So this is me at the Huobi Live party. So I was talking, this gentleman right here is actually a token owner. You can't see the whole scope of the party, from that picture. But if we go back here to this picture, this is a little bit further away. You can see people really enjoying themselves. Off to the left-hand side here, there was an incredible spread of food, and they really treated us first class. So I do want to thank very much, Huobi, for having me there. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed myself, and and at this party, I actually met the founder of VeChain. What happens to be one of my favorite projects. I've owned VeChain all the way since back in 2018. Before they actually did a reverse split. So back when I bought my first VeChain, it was worth, anywhere from about $2 to $10. And then they did a reverse split where they increased the supply by 100 times. That took it down to being worth a couple cents. And then I was buying VeChain all the way down as low as about 0.003 during the bear of 18 and 19. So anyways, that was kind of a highlight of my trip. I got his information. I've got his WhatsApp phone number, and I'm going to be talking to him and getting together with his team and probably doing some videos on VeChain. Zilliqa is another one of my favorites. They just announced a bunch of metaverse and NFT type stuff that they're integrating to their platforms. So folks, once again, I don't want to give you, too many tokens, and I want you to do your own due diligence. But right now, in my opinion, is just an amazing time to dollar cost average in and to get some of these tokens at what I think is going to be bargain basement prices. So with that, folks, I think we've covered everything that I wanted to cover today. I thank you so much for joining us. And once again, I just want to thank the folks here at Huobi Live for having me. I really appreciate the fact that you allow me and think enough of me to have me on your stream. It's an honor. Okay, it sounds like we've got a question. Let's do a question.
What's the best place for passive income?
What is the best place for passive income? That is a fantastic question. I'm glad that you asked that. Who asked that question? We can't pronounce the name, so I'm not going to say it. But anyways, that's a fantastic question. My answer to that is it kind of depends on your financial situation and how much risk you are willing to take. So if you go to like the Huobi exchange and look at their earn feature, you're probably going to be able to earn some passive income on a lot of your tokens very, very, very safely. You could probably earn on a lot of very safe platforms anywhere from 5 to 10 or 15%, depending on the asset, which is great passive income. Now, for the most part, when I stake my coins or hold them on platforms like that, I'm not usually spending the interest that I'm receiving. Most of the time I'm holding it, increasing my bag, increasing my portfolio, but you're more than welcome. You could certainly cash those tokens out, sell the interest, and use that as passive income. Another place that is a little bit riskier is to provide liquidity on DEXs and different platforms. So I really like a little bit safer. I prefer things like the Huobi Earn and places like that are safer for my money. But what I would recommend is if you're really super interested, would be to go to YouTube or go to even like Google and type in, how to earn passive income with cryptocurrency. And you will see strategies from like staking your tokens, providing liquidity. You can also, another great way to get passive income is to get into like launch pads. So if you've got a token that you earn, and then that allows you then to buy into new tokens that are coming out from that platform, then that is a great way too. It's a little bit different than passive income, but a lot of times these projects, when they launch, will launch to a 5 or 10 or 20 or 25x. And so by owning the token and holding it in that platform, you have the ability every time they launch a new project to earn money from that. And a lot of times you can take a small amount of money, like $25, $50, $100, and 10 or 20 or 30x that into, and kind of roll it through and create some great places. So once again, if you haven't downloaded the Huobi Global Exchange, then go ahead and do that. You can do that on your desktop. You can create an account. You can do it through their app. And with that, folks, I do not think I have any more questions, and I am going to let you all go enjoy your evening. It's almost 9 p.m. here for me. I haven't eaten dinner yet, so I am going to go grab some dinner. And with that, folks, thank you for joining me. Hopefully I will be on again very soon. Have a great night. God bless and take care. We'll see you next time.